YouTube? Welcome back to Scents of South Jersey with me, Kellen, for another fragrance review. Today we're going to be taking a look at a classic from the 80s, 1987, from the house of Ted Lapidus. It is Lapidus Pour Homme, and this is going to be a video where I give the truth about this fragrance. We're going to treat it like a regular review, break the fragrance down from its box and bottle presentation to its notes, to its my experience wearing it in terms of its performance, my overall thoughts and opinions, and then I will give it an overall rating. Before we get started in this video, if it is your first time here, guys, check out the subscribe button. Make sure to hit that. We're on our way to 10K. And if you have an Instagram, follow the Scents of South Jersey Instagram page for news and updates on the channel, photos of fragrances from my collection, and daily scent of the day posts. If you have a TikTok, check out Sabro88 for some champagne savoring needs. And then, of course, recently I've been talking about my Mercari page. If you guys are interested in rare and discontinued vintage fragrances or fragrances in general that I may have talked about on the channel, I have posted a lot of them, things that I have enjoyed, that I've reviewed, that I've talked about, that I just don't find myself wearing. Again, they are up for listing for sale for anyone to make an offer on or purchase. And my username is SOSJ, which is just the initials for this channel, but you can't search for usernames for whatever reason. So you just have to search for a fragrance. And currently, the fragrance that I think I'm the only one as of right now, could change, selling on Mercari is Wall Street by Victor. So just search Wall Street cologne or any cologne or vintage fragrances. I always use that hashtag. My page will come up. You'll see that listing and you can look at all the other ones too. So anyway, let's get back to the truth about Lapidus Pour Homme. All right, so when you're looking at the presentation for Lapidus Pour Homme, again, it came out in 1987. It's considered an Oriental Fougere or amber fragrance. I always thought it was Oriental Fougere though, and when I looked on Fragrantica, that was no longer there, so maybe they took that down. Let's look at the box first. So it's got such an iconic box, I think, and it's one of the coolest ones that I've seen. If you look at that, it just looks like straight marble. Like you look at this wave, this is actually raised up just a little bit. You can feel the difference. Same thing with the gold Lapidus up there. Eau de Toilette. And it's a spray bottle here. You got the sticker for the official Lapidus, and it looks very similar to the Bogart presentations, I think. It is an EDT, and on the bottom, you've got the barcode and brand information, and on the top, you don't have anything going on, but it's really got this just cool marble coloring, some more brand information here, and it's a nice box, opens up this way, does have a full French wrapper inside. Now, the bottle, this thing is so 80s looking. It just looks like either like a tower or some sort of like phaser gun from Star Trek, and it's got a built-in sprayer, but this isn't loose. You know how some of them are loose and you can pop them off and you just see that like neck sprayer here. This one's not like that. The distribution, you hear that spray, very good sprayer. Looks like a fantastic bottle, ribbed here on the sides. Really cool. This is one of the first things I noticed about this fragrance when I bought it and when I saw it online, is how cool the bottle looked, how old school. Obviously, you guys know I love the built-in sprayer. You can see the gold underneath there and the sprayer, and you got some embossed glass there on the bottom. It says made in France, Ted Lapidus too. So really good presentation for this one. Okay, so the notes for this fragrance, this one probably has more notes than many of the fragrances I'm ever going to talk about here. I mean, I obviously there's no reason I would ever be able to memorize them. Let me just read them off to you guys here. So in the top, you have pineapple, lavender, artemisia, juniper berries, bergamot, basil, and lemon. And then in the middle or heart of the fragrance, we've got honey, incense, pine tree, rose, Brazilian rosewood, jasmine, caraway, orris root, lily of the valley, and petitgrain. And then in the base, once the fragrance has dried down, there's tobacco, patchouli, oak moss, musk, amber, sandalwood, tonka, and cedar. So that is an amalgamation, a United Nations amount of notes for this fragrance. What you're going to notice, what I pick up on the most, is sort of a citrus herbal, and then absolutely honey, incense for sure. I think, the tobacco, the patchouli, absolutely, the musk, the amber, and the sandalwood. Those are the ones that I get the most, but definitely that honey amber is a big mixture with this fragrance. So, performance-wise, is this a beast mode fragrance? The answer to that question is yes. This isn't a vintage. I think I got this bottle in 2018 or 19, so I'm assuming that it would probably be a year or two older, and I think this one probably lasts on me easily a full work day, definitely between that 8 and 10 hour range for sure. I've then reapplied. I've been wearing it to the gym too, which you may not think that's the spot to wear this fragrance, but I have been. So this is getting to I would say close to 10 hours for sure. So it's a beast mode scent. You can definitely overspray this one and make the mistake because it will fill a room. You don't necessarily need to do that. It will last. It will stay with you. Clothing, skin, either one, at least with my experience, it does last a long time too. So it fills a room. Performance for this is fantastic. Okay, it's time for the truth about Lapidus Pour Homme. So, this is a scent that is inexpensive, right? I think it's between $15 and $18. I think a lot of new to fragrance collectors, either whether it's reviewer, collector, and I say collector, I don't even use that word as a specific, but actually collecting a massive amount of fragrances, but just people trying to, try something different. They watch a couple of videos. This is one that's thrown around there a lot. And people brag about how strong it is, how long it lasts, how it's an 80s powerhouse. And those are all true statements for Lapidus Pour Homme. However, I think the scent is extremely polarizing. And I would imagine the majority of people that go out and buy this after seeing a review or after, hearing about it from somebody are going to buy it, they're going to get it, and they're not really going to like it. I don't think this is that appealing to the masses. The masses, I mean, people that have one or two fragrances, if they were to smell this, they would not like it. People that are getting into the fragrance hobby, or it's become an interest to them, or they want to try something old school, they may like it, but I still feel like a lot of people, regardless, are going to find this to be something they're not going to wear. They're not going to wear that often. The smell is so strange. It's like, I don't know, and myself included. I bought this. I wanted to love it. I don't necessarily love it like this. Let's get the opening again. I'll put it on my hand. The smell, it comes off very strong. It opens up with like a spicy citrus burst, and then it's a combination smell of like hand soap at a truck stop or a rest stop that you're on a family trip and you pull over at some gas station and you go in there and you wash your hands, and it's that orange soap that smells exactly like this, like that florally, like over the top, really, really perfumed scent. And then it's also a mixture when you get into the dry down of like those hippie knick-knack stores that you've gone into when you're somewhere, and they're all over the place in Philly, where you go in and there's freaking dream catchers and all this other crap on the wall, and the guy that behind the counter or girl has like dreads and they look like they haven't bathed in months, and all you smell is incense, or like the smell of like a head shop. They're just trying to cover up all the pot that they're smoking. But you can do that now in New Jersey. It's legal, and so no one cares. So that's that's what this stuff smells like initially. When it dries down fully, I get a nice sandalwood. I think that's where it's the best for me, is the ending dry down. Like when I was at the gym yesterday, I sprayed two under my tank top, 2 sprays right before I went in. And by the end of the workout, I could smell that sandalwood. And I'm like, okay, that I think, me working out the sweat probably, took the fragrance's life cycle and sped it up a little bit. I went into the dry down a little quicker, and I thought that smelled nice. So there are parts of this fragrance that I hate, and there are parts of the fragrance that I think smell really good. So I don't even really know how I feel about it. And that's what I think the truth is about this stuff. It's not gonna be something that's gonna blow people out of the water. People are gonna find it stuffy, but then there are gonna be parts of it where like, oh, it smells kind of nice. It's maybe even a fresh scent because the florals in there are a lot of them as well. All the notes, there's so many different parts to this fragrance. It's very difficult to pinpoint specific times where you're like, I love it and hate it. There's points where I just don't even know what's going on. When I was working out with it's so strong. It was almost like, the scene in Peter Pan, that cartoon where his shadow's following him around. It was like that. Like Lapidus became an entity of itself and was exercising next to me. That's how strong this stuff is. So it can be overpowering. You have to be careful. There's a lot that go into this. And I think that the truth is that most people are not going to enjoy this fragrance. You have to really, 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 really love these kind of incensey, floral, soapy smells to like that. And I like those on their own, especially soapy and floral. Incense, not so much, but this stuff is dangerous. So, it's sort of like the poor man's Koros. If you want something, just on a whole other level that has a lot of notes, that's going to be edgy, buy Koros. This stuff, if you don't, want to spend the money, get this, try it out. You might like it. I don't hate Lapidus Pour Homme, but I don't love it. You know what I mean? That's the truth about it. As in my years of wearing it, it's kind of got the floral animalic. It's better than a lot of other. I smelled worse. Blows Zeno out of the water. That stuff sucks. It's better than Furio by Jacques Bogart, which is in the same vein. But you get my point. This stuff it's not the easiest in the world to reach for. And I find myself, this is the most I've worn it in years because I wanted to make this video and I wanted it to be an honest video on my thoughts and opinions on it. But since the video I made way back when I first started, I have hardly touched this. Okay guys, it's time for me to rate Lapidus Pour Homme by the House of Ted Lapidus, the 1987 Beast Mode Eau de Toilette. So, okay, let's go for the presentation. I love the bottle and I love the box. They look so cool. 10 out of 10. As far as the performance goes, if I'm sticking to my way of rating performances, you know it's going 10 hours, so I'm gonna give that one probably between 8 and 10, so a 9 out of 10 for the performance. As far as the scent goes, it's really 50-50 for me because the truth is, like I had mentioned, I don't think many people enjoy this fragrance. I think a lot of people talk about how they like it, but they never actually wear it. This is the most I've worn it in a long time. There are parts of it that I don't like, but there are also parts of it that I do enjoy. Certain ones, like I mentioned, the sandalwood dry down. So again, it's the Trailer Park Chorus, but the scent is 50-50 for me, so it's gonna be a 5 out of 10, which is gonna bring the overall rating from me for Lapidus Pour Homme to be just about an 8 out of 10. And that's crazy. It shouldn't be an 8 out of 10 fragrance, but because of the way I do my rating system, that's what it ends up being. But and I'm not changing that for anybody. And but think about it again, 5 out of 10 for the scent. But overall is 8 because of the presentation and performance. Bring it there. It's like basically like Tom Brady with a shitty team that still wins the Super Bowl. He carried everything. He's the presentation and performance. But the scent, the overall team, not as good. Okay guys, that's it. That is the truth about Lapidus Pour Homme. Thank you all so much for watching and hanging out with me today. Leave me some feedback in the comment section. What do you think about this fragrance? Do you agree with me? Do you think that it's like just okay, that you have it, it's one of the ones that you gotta try, but you don't find yourself wearing? Or is it one that you love and you wear all the time? Please let me know. You guys know I always appreciate all the interaction. If you have not subscribed to the channel yet, please do so. I really appreciate it. If you have an Instagram, check out the Sense of South Jersey Instagram page. Check out the TikTok. Again, it's SayBro88. And then, of course, the Mercari page is there. If you want to check it out, just search vintage fragrances, search fragrances I have listed, or message me on Instagram to let me know how to go ahead and find that username. It's so stupid that they make it difficult, but you know, what are you going to do? So anyway, thanks again for watching and hanging out with me, and I will see you all in the next video. Take care.